evening, everyone. It brings me great joy to welcome you to the 2025 Ignition Annual Awards. Our goal tonight is to celebrate our students, our funders, our mentors, our volunteers, and everyone who makes Ignition so wonderful. I want to now move on to the fun part of the evening. And I'm going to be introducing one of my mentees to you tonight. Her name is Pontsho Sithole. Pontsho, you can come up while I introduce you. Oh my goodness, Pontsho gives me a hard time. She gave me a hard time tonight, and she said it wouldn't be fitting if she didn't end our relationship giving me a hard time again. Keeps me on my toes. So Pontsho is a very unusual student in Ignition. In that she studied a BA Psychology. As a general rule, we don't support BAs in Ignition, and also we shy away from psychology. But Pontsho presented such a determined and compelling case that we decided to take a chance on her. And boy, am I glad we ever did. From the very first day, she displayed a singular and most determined focus and commitment to her studies. She knew within the first couple of months exactly what she needed to do to be accepted not only into honours, but also into masters. She planned meticulously for this, enrolling in additional courses, doing community service, and also working to make connections at the university, always continuously learning and growing and moving closer to her dream goal of becoming a psychologist and to help other people. Whenever I tried to discuss possible alternatives with Pontsho, her response has always been short and very pointed. Wendy, that is not an option. And so she did it. She attained an impressive 79% average in psychology across the whole of her degree, and a 73% across all of her subjects across the 3 years, which included a major in English and a minor in classical culture and mythologies, no less. She was invited to join the Golden Key Society as well. Pontsho has never shied away from a challenge. She has met with much adversity through her degree, but she has remained resolute, determined, and focused. She has overcome so much to be standing where she is today. As some of you may know, getting into psychology honours and masters is incredibly hard in this country, but Pontsho did it. She is currently studying towards her honours in psychology at UJ, a brilliant, brilliant outcome. I'm super proud of you. She is our little powerhouse, and I know you're going to go on to touch many lives. Once again, congratulations. Over to you.
Hello, I am Pontsho Sithole, and I am an aspiring psychologist. As crazy as it may seem to some, I've always wanted to be a psychologist from a very young age. I've always, after my dad died, my school teacher asked what we wanted to be, and I said I wanted to help people and make them feel better. Of course, at that age, everyone just thinks, oh, she wants to be a doctor. But I meant emotionally, not physically. My passion for this career continued to grow, and in grade 9, unfortunately, a close friend of mine committed suicide. I couldn't understand why she didn't talk to me, and I kept wondering if I could have been that safe space for her. Then maybe she wouldn't have committed suicide. I think it was at that point where I knew that this part was for me. I wanted to be a psychologist. In grade 12, I remember when I was chosen to go through the Ignition career guidance, my counselor Mpumi was very shocked at how certain I was to go and be a psychologist. I kept on telling him that I didn't want to apply for any other option, but this one, and that's that. And anyone who knows me, as Wendy said, I've been stern on this, and that has been that. But however, he helped me realize that even though psychology was the only career I wanted to pursue, it's okay to have other options and to apply to multiple universities to increase my chances of acceptance. And I did get accepted. Going into university and being exposed to people and backgrounds has been beneficial, but also very challenging. Through university, my identity has grown significantly, but it's also been challenged. As someone who has known for a long time that I've wanted to go into psychology, it was very stressful. The volunteer work, trying to keep up with my marks so that I can get into honors, eventually led to me having anxiety. During this stage, I reached out to my senior mentor, Wendy, and she referred me to Mampeta for counseling. And Mampeta continuously provided me with support, even in my third year, when I felt like maybe this career isn't really worth the trouble. But then with the support of my mentors and everyone at Ignition, including students who encouraged me, I managed not to only get my degree, but also get into honors into psychology. Speaking about mentors, my dear Nina, where can I even start? I thank the universe for whoever paired us together. You've been my role model in many ways. I admire your love for family and friends, your passion for health, and most importantly, your work ethic. You've shown compassion towards my values without judgment or opposition, which many people haven't. You've been my support system throughout my undergrad years, and I want to thank you for that. Although you're not connected to the psychology field, I have learned so much through you, through your friends, events, or a simple podcast you recommend every once in a while. You've shown up for me, and I appreciate that. I don't think that I would have continued growing and staying strong in my values and beliefs if you weren't there for me. So thank you. And also, I'd like to give a special thank you to Wendy and Sarah for the continuous support throughout the seminars. I've learned so many valuable skills from them: financial literacy skills, communication skills, and CV writing skills, which have helped me secure amazing volunteer opportunities and also work experience. If it wasn't for them, I would have no skills at all at the work industry. So thank you again. I am still an aspiring psychologist doing my honors, and hopefully I'm going to get accepted to my master's, and I'll see you when I'm officially a clinical psychologist. Thank you.
Okay, so very, very briefly now, just a little bit on Pontsho. And Pontsho, yeah, as I think has already been heard, you are such an inspiration, and so I just wanted to say a few things about how you've inspired me. And just using your name as a guide, P really is for possibility. This is the first day we met. And when we first met, you had the weight of a lot of limitations on you. And I just remember that first time we didn't know each other, and you had this quiet interior. But over the time that we've got to know each other, you've really come out of your shell and spread into this openness. And I think possibilities is always something you've seen. And together we have explored the world with open hearts. We've gone and done many things. We've tried new foods. You've been very open to try weird green juices that look amazing and then really are not amazing. But you're so brave and open to do different things. Go to different places, explore the world, and even carry fish. I don't know if you remember this crazy weekend away of training, where you were just open to do whatever the whole program was, extending yourself into new places. So you've amazed me. Actually, I remembered, and I'm sorry I don't have a picture of it here, on this, which was a weekend of exploring into new places and growing ourselves. You had to swim across a pond, not having swum before, but you did it as part of the exercise, hanging onto a rope where we couldn't even see the water for all the duckweed. N is for new beginnings. This is the latest, Pontsho's latest thing running. And I've watched you begin so many new things in so many ways. You've taken new steps, both literally and figuratively, and I'm very proud of this aspect of your health and growth. T is for transformation, and I think I've seen you over the years just transform. When you've always been super determined, but your ability to take hold of things and overcome those anxieties and things that have been in your way has been absolutely amazing, and such a witness to us all. Then strength, and you spoke to this, Wendy, to see Pontsho in a group, and something that was so lovely about this day that you see this picture here, which was a little training session that I did on mind mapping, which I am so passionate about and encouraged all the students to love. And I just loved it at the end when I chatted to Pontsho and just said, "Don't you just love mind mapping? Isn't it just the best?" And she just said, "No, and I'm not going to use it." And you didn't care that was my passion, and I just love that. It's like you're not going to do something just because someone tells you to, or just because they're passionate about it. So I love that. And then your heart. Everything that you do is with heart, and here is Pontsho with a lovely Bertha, and again, you were willing to, take a risk and come out. This was a weekend at the Val, or a day out of prayer at the Val, and you just have such kindness and caring for the people around you, and I love to see how you've grown your group of friends as well. At university, there was a time where you were quite alone at campus, but you've realized and extended yourself out into those groups, especially those tutoring and other groups as well. And you've had the heart to listen to an 85-year-old guide taking 20 minutes to stop and talk to us about each flower. And then ownership, and I think that really just sums you up, that you own your journey, you own where you want to go, and you take ownership of your life. And I think you have such great things ahead of you, and South Africa and the world are so blessed to have you and what you're going to bring to communities in the future. And so congratulations, Pontsho, and we all just can't wait to see what you have next.
So I want to introduce Simphiwe Ndlovu, who has done a Bachelor of Science in Finance and Risk, and at the University of Wits. So it does say 2025, because he's actually only just finishing in a couple of months' time. But Simphiwe joined Ignition in his matric year with career guidance, and then he flew through his first year of doing maths. He really aced it, but struggled in his second year. I'm not sure if he's going to tell us much about that struggle. In his third year, he actually moved back to Alex because of a lack of funding. And this adds a whole new layer of difficulty in your studies when you're studying at one of the universities. I commend him because from that time, he started taking more ownership of his own problems. He stopped blaming external factors. He made adjustments, put down his head, and tackled his academics and made steady progress. Due to a little blip last year, that's why he is only graduating in the middle of this year. But it's close enough for us to celebrate it right tonight. He has shown the ability to take stock of reality, adapt, try new methods, and persevere with what's working. Simphiwe, he was orphaned at the age of 6, and from grade 10, it was unusual that he only had a household of men. And I mention this because I think he didn't really want to be mentored in his first year. And I don't know if this is because he was doing so well academically that he didn't think he needed a mentor, or whether it was because it was a Malungu or a woman that he was now having to speak to. But whatever the reason is, I think over time, he came along because it was part of the program, he had to do it. But over time, I think we built trust, and our relationship got deeper. What we talked about became more meaningful. He was more ready to talk about a broader number of topics. And I can see that he has grown from a boy who just let life happen around him, who got through on his intelligence, to somebody, a young man who thoughtfully makes plans for where he's wanting to go, and he pursues them. For example, since his third year, he has consistently done part-time jobs, and I'm really, really excited to see what he has got in store for him in the next phase of his life. Simphiwe, do you want to come up?
Okay, hi everyone, and I hope you are all enjoying yourselves this evening. For those who don't know me, I'm Simphiwe Ndlovu, and I'm currently completing or wrapping up my BSc degree at Wits in mathematics. And I'm so relieved and excited to say that I've got less than 2 months left. It has been a path filled with growth, adaptation, and a whole lot of perseverance, like honestly. As my mentor, Peter, once said, university builds character. And he didn't just say that because he helped build mine. So tonight, I would love to tell you a bit about my story and tell you why Ignition has been such a powerful part of it. So, as Sarah mentioned that I was orphaned at a young age. I was raised by my grandparents who raised us with core values of respect, kindness, and humility. They made sure that my cousins and I got an education. Even though they themselves either didn't complete school or they didn't even get the chance to attend one. Honestly, I can't say with certainty which one occurred because they never talked about that much. It was a sensitive topic for them. But for me, I believe it highlights just how privileged we are to have access to education today. Even more so, to have Ignition work with us on that path. So, yeah, Ignition is amazing. I joined Ignition back in 2020 while I was matric. I was a numbers person. I loved maths, I loved challenges. So I had set my heart in actuarial sciences. When we did the psychometric test with Ignition through Saibono, they confirmed that a mathematical field is a great fit for me. So that boosted my confidence even more. And yeah, I started working hard, improved my marks. Then eventually I was accepted into actuarial sciences at Wits. So yeah, that's such a great story. I love telling it. When I joined Ignition like 5 years ago, I was just a smart, shy kid. Fast forward 5 years, I'm still smart. but I'm more confident, I'm wiser, and I'm accountable. Honestly, I never imagined I would be able to stand in front of a group of people and talk like this. It's just amazing. So Ignition really helped me break out of my shell. About my mentor, Peter, I really appreciate him. Honestly, I'm very grateful because he's been with me through all the ups and downs, and he helped me stay focused in many different ways. Saying that he's an inspiration wouldn't even begin to cover it because, he's so smart. I remember this one time we went to a zoo, and then he was just telling me random facts about birds and monkeys. I was blown away. I was like, how? Yeah, and I don't think he knows this, but being how smart he is and so wise, he actually got me reading more, staying up to date with current affairs. He even inspired me he even inspired my curiosity into science because we discuss a lot of different topics. And when you talk with someone who really knows a lot of things, you're just inspired to catch up and also be able to, okay, next time I'm going to start this topic and see if he can catch up. So, it was sort of that, he really inspires me. He's amazing. So, he has shared a lot of wise words with me, words that often left me wondering, like, why now? So, here's the thing. When you hear something, so it happens that we've heard like certain words before, right? But then it takes a certain someone for a certain someone at the right moment for those words to hit, to really hit differently. So that's why I was often left wondering, like, why now? Because with him, like, the words that he was saying really moved me and like actually made me want to be better, do better, be accountable, and actually succeed in my career. And that's also the beauty of Ignition, connecting us or providing us with mentors who are so wise, so patient, and so caring to guide us through the journey of university and life in generally. So, again, I appreciate Ignition. So, Phew. And even when we think we've got it all figured out, we still need someone to celebrate with us and lift us up when things fall apart. And trust me, things did fall apart. Like Sarah mentioned, in my first year, I passed very well, and then they celebrated with me, of course. Second year, things went south. But like, things went south, and then I was scared to even report back to Sarah or Ignition about my bad news. There were times I was even considering disappearing and just ghosting everyone in Ignition because I was scared to like disappoint them or like let them down. But Ignition, being amazing as it is, So Ignition being amazing as it is, when I finally shared the news, the bad news, they never let me feel small. They lifted me up and actually made me realize that I can't do this. And also, it came with a cup of accountability. So that's another important factor. So Ignition doesn't just support your fantasy, but they make you realize your potential and actually help you reach your potential. And another important thing I would like to talk about with Ignition, is that they don't just help us succeed academically. They also help us succeed through our careers and prepare us to succeed in our careers and in our personal lives through mentorship and their seminars. And personally, I can say that the seminars have helped me navigate family challenges, and they gave me tools. They equipped me with tools to actually deal with those challenges. Charlie, see there, he's the one mostly responsible for the personal part most of the time. So and then now, my biggest dream is to share the light that Ignition has sparked in me with others and make a difference in their lives. So I would like to thank each and every one of you for being part of Ignition and making a difference in our lives. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Sarah, for the amazing work you do. Thanks, Peter, even though he's not here. And thank you all for listening to me.
Good evening and greetings, everyone. My name is Peter Skei. My man, Simphiwe, well done. We are here now. What an achievement just to get here. Kyabonga, my brother. Thank you for doing us proud, becoming such a gentleman. Your parents and our ancestors look on you today and smile. Your degree will be a milestone, not a destination. Knowledge fills the mind, but wisdom shapes the soul. Learning is the path, but understanding is the journey, Simphiwe. You have always impressed me with your wisdom beyond your years. Keep on growing in your humble ways. Keep believing in yourself and remain disciplined and principled. And so I've watched you grow. Today I wear my graduation outfit, as you will soon do. Your curiosity inspired me, and thus working on my master's alongside you has made this journey so much more meaningful. Knowing and experiencing what you have endured and your valiant efforts makes me truly proud and grateful to be a part of what you have achieved. Your hard work made me work even harder, and I say thank you for the difference that you've made in me. And so I've watched you grow. Today, so many in Alex can point to you as a beacon of what is possible. I saw the great care you took of your family, your grandfather, your siblings, and your uncles, the many uncles. I've noticed how anxious you've been when they have had concerns, always staying near even when you were far from them. You have remained their pillar regardless of your own struggles and your difficulties. And so I've watched you grow. Thank you for our many walks and talks and engagements, such interesting conversations, all kinds of topics we could cover, whether it was mathematics, whether it was physics, whether we spoke about chess, or all kinds of things. Always so much fun, always a joy to be with you. Such lekker times. I've been encouraged by the respect and the care that you've always showed for others, and the way in which you've dealt also with disappointments and with setbacks, and the things that you have achieved that have made you grow in leadership and in integrity and in sincerity. And I am so encouraged by how far you've traveled. And so I've watched you grow. So today, my little brother, I come to say thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. It has been such a blast. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being faithful and diligent. Most of all, thank you for helping me grow.
I'd like to introduce you to our next graduate, and this is Siphamandla Magwebu, and he did a Bachelor of Science. It's actually, the technical term is of Actuarial and Financial Maths at the University of Pretoria. Whew, this is a tough course. What I would like to say about Siphamandla, I'm actually really impressed by him. He surprised me so much. Every year he surprised me with something else, and with his tenacity and with his growth. In our first year, our first meeting with him, he had never been to a restaurant before. Our second meeting was the first time he had had a pizza. He was so nervous, and he was unsure. He was very overwhelmed by the technology required from the COVID lockdowns. He had to write and submit tests on his cell phone, and he wasn't even sure whether they'd been submitted. So his first year was quite difficult, but he doggedly pushed through all the difficulties, and when he moved into Resin's second year, it was a huge relief, and I think was a good boost for him. In third year, he decided to focus on tackling non-academic tasks, like increasing his networking and his experience. He joined the Association of South African Black Actuaries, the UP chapter, and he participated in many corporate actuary activities during his vacations. He became very active on LinkedIn. I think of all our students, he's probably the most active. And not just active, but intelligently so, not just posting. So he's using LinkedIn well. In fourth year, he again focused on his studies. Throughout the 4 years, I must say I was constantly worried about his marks and that he wasn't going to pass. It is an incredibly difficult degree. He aced some subjects, failed others, and in some ways I think I was a bad mentor because I really doubted him. I didn't always encourage him the way that he probably needed. But even with repeating his subjects, he passed his 4-year degree in 4 years, which I think is incredible. This man has tenacity in buckets. He's put an incredible amount of hard work into not only his degree, but also into improving himself. He will tell you his own, in his speech, about his struggles with his speech. And I don't think you would believe me when I tell you how much he has improved since the time we first met him. But that's enough from me. I would like to call up Siphamandla now. Come up, please.
Greet you, everyone. As I'm standing here in front of you, perpendicular to the floor, parallel to the audience. My name is Siphamandla Magwebu. I graduated with a BSc in Actuarial and Financial Mathematics from the University of Pretoria. You might be asking yourself, why does Ignition exist? Why should I keep sponsoring Ignition? Well, today, I hope to give you the answer you are looking for. I was born in the Eastern Cape, in a small town called Sithole. In grade R, I had to repeat the grade because I struggled to speak Xhosa fluently. I had a speech difficult all through school. In grade 6, I moved to Alexandra. I was staying next to the tavern. I hope now I will be able to speak English fluently. I use television as a tool to learn English, but I still struggle. At university, Ignition supported me with speech therapy, and I was given the tool to improve my speech. In grade 9, at Kwapekilanga Secondary School, something amazing happened. In term 2, I was the only learner out of over 200 to pass that term. That moment built my confidence. I started dreaming of becoming a doctor, even although I was not in the top 10. In grade 10, I had the opportunity to participate in the South African Institution of Electrical Engineering, a maths competition. Guess what? We won. That moment built my confidence in starting the course in the Faculty of Maths or Engineering. Yeah, ne? In grade 12, a friend encouraged me to apply for Ignition. She said, "You have a good 65 average. You are in the top 12 in Alexandra schools. I think you have a good chance." I applied and I made it to the interview stage. I was so nervous, even now I'm nervous. I ended up speaking in my home language during the interview with wind. I was not hip, but Wendy, they must have seen something in me because I was invited to attend the Ignition Career Guidance. I wrote a psychometric test. The results showed my strengths within maths and physics. That gave me a direction. I end up registering for an actuarial science at University of Pretoria. I was so hip because it was my university dream. That first day was one of the hardest. I stay in Alexandra. I deal with the constant load shedding, the challenges of COVID-19 lockdown. I nearly gave up, but the people like Sarah and Nokuthula from the Ignition, they gave me the encouragement. I found the ways to adopt, and I keep going. I always struggle with a time during the exam, so I shift my focus. I work hard during the semester test and made sure my assignments were strong enough to carry me throughout. That strategy worked. I passed. I completed my 4-year degree in 4 years. Yeah. Yeah, the Ignition seminars. Okay, the Ignition seminars helped me to improve my study skills, learn how to use LinkedIn, and grow my professional networking. My mentorship journey was amazing. It felt like having a big sister who guided me. She helped me setting a goals for the year. At the end of the year, we look back and reflect. That is how I develop a vision and focus. Thank you, Nokuthula, just to that, for being my mentor. A huge thanks. Thank you, Professor James, for your support with math. Without you, there's no degree. This is actual science. I might register something that's useless. As I'm standing here today, I can see how far I've come. I now have a confidence I never imagined possible. Right now, I am not working, but I know where I'm going. My goals is to become a full qualified actuary, specializing in general insurance or investment. You can call me. In conclusion, I ask all of you to clap hands for the sponsors. You are doing the incredible work for a young man who have a vision, but need help to stay on the track. The same goes for the Ignition. Thank you for giving me a chance, and thank you for believing in me. Thank you for everyone.
Thank you so much for that, Siphamandla. Nokuthula is his mentor, and I'm going to ask her to come and say a few words. I want to say a couple of things as she comes up, though, because she's very special to me as well. Nokuthula is, first I want to say, we don't often match mentors across gender, but because they both spoke the same home language, we thought that was most important in Siphamandla's first year. One of the reasons she's so special to me is because she is an Ignition alumni. So I mentored her through her degree in biological, biomedical technology. And she's also from Alex, and she's experienced Ignition training and mentoring through her years. She started working in 2017, if I'm correct, and has added further qualifications to her name since then. She's had promotions. She's achieved many of the goals that I know that our students sitting here hope to achieve themselves. I remember her delight when she first sent me a photograph of her buying her first car. And it's just really wonderful to us when students come back and now mentor other students. The old students mentor the new students, and I really, really appreciate that. I thank you so much for your time. Nokuthula, please come.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nokuthula Sefa. I'm also from Alexandra, and I'm also an Ignition alumni, and now a mentor to Siphamandla Magwebu. Firstly, I'd like to thank Ignition for this beautiful initiative that they have, and for also the sponsors that are giving a chance to the students of Ignition. This is Ignition has changed my life. It has changed my perspective on everything in life. Mind mapping, yeah, it was not futile. I love mind mapping. It's gotten me through varsity. So I'd like to thank Ignition for this beautiful initiative and giving the students an opportunity to study whilst equipping them with the skills that they need in life and in the professional world through career guidance, and also offering mentorship. Today is a proud and emotional moment, not just for the graduates, but also for those who've walked besides the graduates. and guided them and watched them grow. I stand today filled with admiration and joy as I celebrate the success of someone very dear to me, my mentee, Siphamandla. So Siphamandla, from the moment we began this journey together, I was a first-time mentor also. So I was also starting to mentor someone. I hadn't done it before, but I was so excited that I'm gonna make a difference in someone else's life as much as Sarah has made a difference in mine. So from the moment we began this journey together, I saw a spark in you, your curiosity, determination, and it was quite a strength that could weather any storm. You ask questions not just to find answers, but to understand, to challenge, and to build. You were never afraid to try anything, even when failure was a possibility. And when the challenges came, you met them with resilience and grace. So actuarial science is not for the faint-hearted. We're not in the same field, but I learned a lot about actuarial science and the journey that it has brought. So it is definitely not for the faint-hearted. It requires intellectual stamina, sharp and analytical skills, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. So Siphamandla, you've shown all of that and more, and have passed difficult exams, spent long nights poring over the models and probabilities, and still found time to give back to ASABA, the organization that you joined at varsity. I was like, I never joined anything in varsity. Where is this guy getting so much energy to be part of organizations and this and that? And I remember there was a time when I was very wary of you being too out and about with your course, and I kept reminding you that don't forget the goal, don't forget the goal, don't be too into campus life and everything, never forget the goal, always focus. And you did all of that into your into your campus life. So the organization, ASABA, that you joined at varsity, and your peers, and you've given them a lot, and you've also given to your community through volunteering. So watching your growth has been one of the most rewarding experiences in my life. You have evolved not just in knowledge and skills, but in character. You've become a leader, a thinker, and above all, a person who lifts others as they rise. So I want to remember something. This degree is an achievement, but it is not a final destination. It's a powerful beginning for you. And wherever life takes you next, carry with your values. You've upheld integrity, compassion, and a hunger to keep learning, so don't stop. The challenge ahead will be many, but so are the opportunities. So wherever your path leads, whether it's in risk analysis, pension, or beyond, remember that your mindset, your values, and your perseverance will always be your greatest tools. As a mentor, I couldn't be more proud. And as someone who believes in you deeply, I'm excited for the future that lies ahead. The world needs your resilience, your kindness, and your courage. So congratulations, Siphamandla, and the other graduates. Today, you don't just graduate, you shine. Thank you.
It is a wonderful privilege tonight to introduce Michelle Maoko to you. Michelle came to us confident that she wanted to pursue accounts. We knew, though, that her maths mark might be a problem. So we made provision for that in our career guidance, and she applied for a diploma in accounts at UJ. A real example of why career guidance is really important. She was excited to be accepted into the diploma at UJ, but she was very nervous to attend at the Soweto campus, far away from home and anyone else she knew. A very brave move. Within the first few months of being at UJ, she had quickly figured out exactly what she needed to do to move into the CA stream. Getting good marks throughout was critical. She put her head down and worked incredibly hard. Impressively, Michelle attained an average of 80% for accounts throughout her diploma. And 75% for all her subjects over the 3 years. She was also just checking, because she called me up on something earlier. She was also invited to join the Golden Key Society, which you, if you're in the top 15% of your course, you get invited to join the Golden Key. All of these very, very impressive outcomes. But what made this even more impressive was that she did this despite a struggle with her mental health in first year. She has made the brave choice to share her struggles. She wants to break the silence and taboo around mental health, to let people know the importance of speaking about mental health, of seeking help, and to show them that it is possible to get strong and well again. And she'll be sharing some of her journey tonight. While contending with all of this, Michelle also did community service. She became a mentor to other young students at university, and she's worked as an accounts tutor, and also did important job shadowing that helped inspire her further. And as Nokuthula said, I don't know how all of you students have the capacity to take on the things that you do, but I'm very, very impressed. She leaves Ignition with a very impressive CV to pursue her higher diploma in accounts, one step closer to her dream career. This she is currently doing and is being funded by Amazon through the Study Trust. Congratulations, Michelle. We are so very, very proud of you and love your heart for helping others. We know that you're going to be an inspiration to many young women from Alex and in many different walks of life. We look forward to hearing more about your journey as it develops.
My name is Michelle Maoko, and I was born and raised in Alexandra. Growing up as the eldest of 2 children in a single-parent household, I took on responsibilities early. My mother, a strong woman, occasionally struggled with mental health issues, and from the age of 12, I became the caregiver for my little sister. That experience was difficult, but it shaped my determination to succeed. I made a commitment to work hard in school because I believed that education will be my path to securing a better future for my family. I chose to study accounting because I discovered a genuine interest during high school. More importantly, I wanted to help people manage their finances. Often we think we are poor, but in reality the issue lies in poor financial planning and lack of emergency services. If my mother had been able to save while working, our lives could have been very difficult when she became ill. That realization fueled my passion. And now I'm going to talk about my mentors, Wendy and Flora. She couldn't be here. With the support of my mentors, I pursued vocational work opportunities and was fortunate to work as an intern at Heartlines with Richard and Helen. And also, Flora helped me with getting to shadow a director at the KHS tax practice to see how the tax world is. And through the Ignition program, I participated in seminars on CV writing and interview skills, and I was honored to become a tutor for second-year students at the University of Johannesburg, an experience that taught me a great deal. However, my university journey was far from easy. I struggled with depression and severe anxiety, often experiencing panic attacks in social settings. At one point, I had to take medication and attend therapy. I am proud to say that I'm now off medication, doctor's order, and in a good place mentally and physically. Despite the challenges, I maintained an academic average of 80% and remained committed to my goals. Ignition has played an important role in my personal growth. I learned that leadership and success are not limited to those who are outspoken or extroverted. With self-confidence and mental resilience, you can achieve anything. Wendy and Mom Flora have been two of my greatest supporters. They stood by me during my darkest times and celebrated my victories. Mom Flora was there to accompany me to my medical appointments, encouraged me to stick with my therapy, because sometimes I was like, no, it's useless because I'm going to talk about my problems. Yeah, so she was there to encourage me. And she was there to pray for me during my exams, especially in first year when I was struggling with anxiety attacks. And her unwavering support and kindness means the world to me, and I would love to thank her. And Wendy, thank you for always being there to talk and for keeping me focused on my aspirations. And I'm proud to say I'm still a tutor at the University of Johannesburg, and a proud recipient of the Amazon Bursary because of working hard in my diploma studies. And I'm currently pursuing an advanced diploma in accounting and plan to specialize in taxation at the honors level next year. Thank you all for listening and for being part of this incredible journey with me.
Yeah, Michelle was another student who, when she first came to our seminars, I could not get her to say a word. I think that's fair to say, Michelle. And those are actually my students who I love challenging the most, because they come to me quietly and say, there's no ways that I will ever be able to stand in front of a group of people. And I say, right, let's do it. And so we start with little opportunities, like saying the prayer at our award ceremony, or just writing some notes for me while I'm training. And we find little opportunities just to build their confidence and to say that you can do this. You absolutely can. You've got everything you need. And I'm just so proud to see Michelle speak so confidently tonight. And I know that she's a leader in Ignition, and she's looked up to by so many of our students. So well done, Michelle. So while unfortunately Flora is not here, we really want to say in her absence a huge thank you for everything that she's done for Michelle. We're just going to watch a brief video from her.
My name is Flora Mupanomunda. I've been mentoring Michelle Maoko for the past 3 years. When we first met, Michelle was incredibly shy and withdrawn. I remember taking her to a restaurant in Sandton. Michelle didn't even know how to hold a knife and fork or what to order. That moment really stayed with me, as we tend to take a lot of things for granted. Early days of this mentoring journey, I was not sure if I was making an impact. I even considered stepping away. But with encouragement from Wendy, Sarah, and my husband, I stayed, and I'm glad that I did. Over time, Michelle and I have built trust. I visited her home in Alex and had time to sit with her mom and her sister Mapulusho. Michelle proudly showed me a wardrobe which she had bought for her mom on lay-by from her allowance. I was deeply humbled. I also visited her varsity residence in Soweto just to understand her life, just to understand her world and understand her daily life better. Later, I noticed a worrying post on her social media. I raised it with Wendy, and we later discovered that Michelle was struggling with anxiety and panic attacks. She was referred to a psychologist and began monthly visits and taking medication. I supported her through this journey, often driving her to appointments and taking her back to campus in Soweto. After 6 months, Michelle improved greatly and decided to stop the medication. And with approval from the medical fraternity, she stopped. During that time, my community group from church was also praying for her. And when she stopped medication, This was truly an answer to prayer. Our mentoring program, as you know, includes monthly meetings, usually initiated by the mentee. Timekeeping is key. I always made sure to be punctual. Michelle picked up on this habit fast, and she was on time on most occasions. One day I was late. She asked me if something was wrong. That really showed me how closely our mentees observe us. They don't only learn from our advice, but from our actions and the way we carry ourselves. Today, Michelle is thriving, excelling academically, confident, and has become a fine young lady. She recently graduated with a diploma in accounting from UJ and is now pursuing her advanced diploma. I attended a graduation together with a mom and a sister, and it was really a momentous occasion. Last year, I also arranged a job shadowing opportunity with a friend of mine who is a tax consultant. That tax consultant was blown away by Michelle's work ethic. To all mentors, your consistency, your example, and your presence in these young people's lives truly matters. Even when it feels small, keep going. You are making a difference. I have learned the true meaning of the word tenacity from Michelle, to focus on what is important, no matter the challenges, the waves and the storms which surround us. And lastly, I give all the glory and honor to God for this relationship and everything that has come from it.
A few years ago, the Department of Health, the Department of Education, Higher Education, released some statistics that showed that 50% of students who enter university never graduate, and 30% of black students in this country fall out of university in their first year. In contrast, less than 4% of Ignition students fall out in their first year, and most go on to graduate, a testimony to the importance of the support that we all provide to our students. In 2024, our students passed an incredible 89% of all the semester courses that they attempted, and 34% of all of those were passed with distinction. 43% of our students achieved an academic average of over 70%. And for anyone who's been to university, you'll know personally and deeply how impressive that is. So congratulations to all of you that have achieved that. The overall academic average of all students was 63%. And we are very proud to announce that over the last 5 years, 84% of our students have found meaningful employment within 6 months of graduating, and all within 1 year of graduating. This is our ultimate goal. We are thrilled to see our students launching careers that will not only change their lives, but also the lives of the families and the generations to follow. I was going to ask you to clap, but you've already clapped so well for the students, so thank you. You'll see on the table a little brochure of Ignitions. It summarizes some of our our results, things that we're really proud of. So now, students, coming to the important part. Our main aim at Ignition is to break the cycle of poverty for the youth in our program and for their future generations. While we believe that tertiary education is an important tool to achieve that, we know that having a degree is simply not good enough. The Stats SA report recently showed that 34% of university graduates in South Africa, younger than 34, are currently unemployed. So it's not enough just to have a degree. So everything that we do in Ignition is designed to encourage our students to build their CVs, to make themselves as employable as possible. So we have created a key performance indicator program that we use to manage our students. We use it to introduce them to what working and professional life will be like, but also to help motivate them to build the skills that they need in the professional environment. The 5 areas of KPI are their academic performance, their mentoring engagement, because we know that a commitment to mentoring and growth is so important, their participation in the training, and then 2 really important factors for building work readiness. The first is building their employability through VAC work, job shadowing, and community service. And this year we've also started to measure them on their digital skills, because that's such an important part of going into the working world. I get lots of complaints about that, but we will stick to it, guys, and also their professional conduct.